Hi, Anti-Society. Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out some more Tower of God Webtoon, and I still feel like I'm going through every stage of grief simultaneously. We don't need to talk about it. I don't think I have anything to debrief on about what happened in the last couple of chapters, other than we're just gonna keep reading and probably live in denial. Yes, let's check on, like, everybody. I feel like everyone needs a pick-me-up. I feel like everyone is going through it. You look determined, though, which is great. I hope that we help some people out. And I don't need you to show me her specifically, given everything that's going on. I'm fine. I think it's interesting to have this switch in the panel, too. Like, he's off kilter in the way that he's, like, thinking of himself. I don't know, it's dangerous thinking, because even though we might be like, I'm gonna make this deal with a certain entity that we've come in contact with a couple of times that has told us about giving us power, right? The intention might be to protect people, but that isn't always how it turns out, right? Just because you have an intention that is good doesn't mean that is like the result of your actions. Oh no, man, we're not supposed to be a god. You got pretty roughed up, so I'm assuming that we're in some kind of almost comatose. Oh my god, I'm fine. I'm fine. I need to remember to take breaths, ground myself. I don't like their eyes look all whited out. Do not go towards the light, Wangnan. We cannot lose anyone else. Where are they going? Can we? I'm like in denial. Can we? No! Oh my god! Sorry, I was like in the middle of a thought being like, we need to not lose anyone, and I'm still gonna be in denial about Prince and Arkraptor. And then you're gonna throw me all the way back to the trauma I had at the beginning of this season? I'm not okay. Why would you do this to me? Don't have the whole guilt trip. I know this is like an internal monologue thing, but like, I'm already emotionally fragile. I'm assuming there's some backstory. Oh yeah, we also knew that he had like other people that he had been on teams with, like that had tried to get through the tower. It had not worked out. Oh my god. I know this is all like internal, but it still hurts. I was already going through grief and now I'm like, I have so many other things. I think it says a lot though about what is going on in Wangnan's head though, like how he sees himself, right? Because this is like what he is saying to himself, the guilt that he's feeling. And it's like hand in hand with what Bam is feeling too. Like he also wants to save people. He also is seeing the people that he's left behind, right? So there's parallels between those two, and like the way that they're talking to themselves, of Bam being like, I need to be so powerful that I cannot lose. Like I'm never going to lose someone, because he has so much like trauma wrapped up in that. And then Wangnan having this guilt of people being sacrificed, like a very specific way of describing that is, I've lost people. It's not other people have protected me. There are different perspectives that you can look at it. Instead, seeing it as these people have sacrificed. I've used them in order for me to continue on. Well, okay, I don't think we want to be a prince of a red light district. That means something different from my part of the world. I don't know what it means in Korea, but ooh, what an image. Like, again, being kept prisoner, but also like feeling chained up, like the symbolism of him being like chained up, beat up one of the survivors, but then also chained with this other person that he's traveling with. All the symbolism and guilt that is wrapped up in that. Yeah, I'm assuming we're on the train somewhere. I don't need you to say anything like that to me. I will firmly stay in denial forever. Ooh, what is that? Is it in our head or is there something going on? What's going on? If we're hearing voices, that makes me nervous. Are we not? Is something happening? What's... Probably not. I'm assuming not okay for hearing things. The casualness of, can you have a quiet crisis? Thank you. I don't like Joaquin, but every time he calls Rachel a bitch, it does make me like a little bit, like my heart does do a little happy dance, a little happy shimmy, because I agree. Don't eat them. I also would like to whine about people dying. I had a good cry. I'm not even joking. I had a proper cry after the last chapter. Okay, I don't like what's going on in this, like, narratively in this panel, but look how beautifully that's done in terms of the artwork. Again, am I distracting myself for the sake of not being in my emotions? Maybe. The casualness of, God, I'm surrounded by losers. Yeah, okay, I've also noticed him be, like, on the brink of death, and then he's just gotten better. So what's going on with that? I don't like that you're taking interest, though. Oh, you finally out. Because he doesn't care about you. That's why. Just like, stop complaining. You're fine. I like how I also didn't think that you'd get yourself caught. So that's on you. That was a very dramatic point. And like, I thought you were gonna be like an emotional wreck, but apparently not. I don't know. Some of the swords have entities inside of them. So I'm just saying. It is interesting though, because hands, like that's personal, right? When you use like your bare hands against someone, it's rage, it's taking pleasure, it's like revenge, right? There are so many reasons for why you would want to be up close and personal to someone if you're going to harm them, right? as opposed to a weapon where you can be at a great distance. There's something disconnected about using something like a sword or like a firearm or something, right? The last time that Fook had a weapon that was emotionless, that kind of went awry because now he's gone rogue and has an army inside of him of the undead. I feel like we've breezed past that and not gone back. I know that we're dealing with a lot of other things, but I feel like the vengeful spirits living inside of Bomb, like, he's a haunted house now. We're gonna have to come back to that at some point. I see the point, but I don't want you to, like, off anyone else. Oh, so we have a spare? Like, that we have another sacrifice being talked about. I don't know, I feel like there's some foreshadowing of what if someone tries to hurt you? You know what I mean? Because Magnet's got something going on. I just don't know what his power is yet, but he's got something. Hello, shadowy figure? I don't like that smirk. Oh, it's just like, why are there sparkles? That's like the performer coming through. I don't like that. The casualness, I didn't find anything except a bomb. But I also feel like there is something. There's something with Wagnot now, because I feel like we're setting it up of being like, oh, they don't have any weapons. I also just want Rachel to be proved wrong in every facet. Are we injured? We've got trembling and then the, I hope you're injured. Is that too much to ask for though? Because her hands don't have blood on them now. Got tongue-tied there for a second. Or are we just like seeing blood on our hands symbolically? I want you to feel bad about it. I want you to feel bad about it forever. I hope that it haunts you. I hope that it keeps you up at night. I hope that it makes you feel bad. I hope that it gives you like early onset diseases. I hope that it just ruins your life. Not that I'm vindictive. I don't forget. I hold on to grudges with the best of them. No, he's something. I just don't know what yet. You took the ring? Okay, I was wondering like maybe the ring is something, right? Like maybe they're like saying they don't have a weapon and the ring is connected to it. I know the ring is like symbolic, right? I feel like there's gonna be something else with it. Yeah, I'm just hopeful. Maybe I'm just like, we're gonna kick some butt. Is he gone? Are we training montage? What'd I just say? I was like, maybe we don't talk to the entity that has offered us a bunch of power because everyone else who has interacted with the entity has turned out to not be great. Oh god, I don't know how I feel about that. Because the whole time we've been like, I'm not a god. And now you're like, teach me how to become that. It makes me very nervous. Because no one who's wanted to become a god of the tower has turned out well. Name one. That's why we're in this mess. That's why the tower is what it is. It's fine, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm with you with the what? Huh? I don't like how we're not talking to anybody about this decision either. Like, we're just going and doing it. We haven't talked to the team. That's probably your best guess. If you're like gonna ask somebody to teach you how to be a god, your choices are pretty much this guy and like Joaquin. And I just feel like I know what my choice would be. It's just a nickname. It's not descriptive of who I actually am. I love the way he's, oh, okay, never mind. I'll figure it out. Yeah, maybe we debrief with someone. I'm in denial. Look, I'm in denial about Arc Raptor, and I literally saw a body, so I feel like anything with, like, Rock, I'm just like, Rock will live forever in my heart, regardless of what happens in this story. I don't care. He's always going to be alive to me, and not just a work of fiction. Look, it's fine. Even with, like, Arc Raptor, I'm like, he could be fine. He could just walk that off. I don't know. People have done crazy things in this series. I watched Shonen. I know how this could turn out. You've also helped. You've done things. You did all that stuff with Joaquin and White and all that. And you freed all those people at the name hunting station, right? You've done stuff. Yeah, it's like an interesting thing too to bring up the thought of you're already stronger than most people. And the thought of if I was just stronger, then I could have saved them. And that's not necessarily always the case, right? Like sometimes things just happen, right? And there's nothing you can really do about it. Other times it's not about being stronger. It's about being strategic. It's about having the right information. It's about like how you navigate the world you're in. It's not just about pure strength. Take Kun as a character in general. Yeah, he has a lot of power. Yeah, he's skilled. Yeah, he can win in a fight. But the majority of him being in any kind of conflict is his ability to plan and see things and have different levels to the way that he's like viewing stuff so that he can figure out what's going to happen next, right? Like him being a few steps ahead of people is his advantage most of the time that he leans into, as opposed to like brute strength, right? And even like Rock as a character who leans more into like strength and just like being like, I'm gonna punch it really hard and see what happens. Even he like tends to have a lot of strategy to the way that he's thinking. Like he's also a really good hunter, and I like that the series does a good job of like, balancing some of that out. Yeah, he's a bit of a comedic relief character in that he's, I'm just gonna rush in and hit this person and see what happens, but also when it push comes to shove and he has to be strategic, he can see it. There's a reason that Rock and Kun can work off of each other really well. It's because they have a similar way of thinking when it comes down to like strategy and combat, right? So just being stronger doesn't necessarily mean that Bomb is going to be able to go go up against other people. And like even in times where it's been a close call in terms of power level and him and other like people that he's like going up against, some of the way that he's won or had an advantage is because he has people helping him, right? Is because he has someone like Kyun or someone who's like more strategic thinking that can help them get the right angle to win that fight, right? So it isn't necessarily being stronger that is going to make everything magically better. Yes, great power cannot make everyone happy. And also, like I was saying, all the people we've seen who've wanted to become gods or have become gods to some extent, do we want to be them? Not the group that I would want to be grouped in with. Like some child. I don't know how that turned out. You're scratching them out on purpose. I feel like we would know who this was if we got more visual. Yeah, I'm like, are we talking about like Jihad, like the god of the tower? Yep. Again, like we have someone who's in charge of the tower who's like at a god level, and we have a lot of problems with how everything works in the tower. We have Hookin and White. Look how that's turned out. Even like some of the stronger people we've met that are like rankers and stuff, or like the princesses, right? Like, some of the people who are like the strongest that we've encountered are not the people that we want to be grouped together with. So I don't know if power is necessarily the thing that we should be striving for. And it's also a good point. Like, a lot of your problems are because you have the power that you do right now. Ooh, I love that you're about to lose something important because of a fleeting emotion. I think that's such a good way of talking about it. Losing something like the core of who you are, your morality, the thing that like motivates you, like the soul of who you are, giving that up because at the moment you're scared, right? Like I think that's one of the big things is like Bam feels guilty. He feels all these negativities like grief and stuff because of losing people, but he also feels like scared that it's going to happen again, right? This is a emotion driven knee-jerk reaction to everything that's happening, even though there's nothing like directly happening right now that is threatening the lives of the people he's traveling with. He feels like he needs to go out of his way to be like defensive, right? In terms of figuring out a way to protect them before anything even happens. So it's not like I want to protect against a specific thing, a specific enemy, a specific instance I can see in the future, like we've seen in previous points, right? Where he's like training because I have to go up against Hookin, so I got to figure out how to be strong enough for that. I have to go up against Kaiser, so I have to be strong enough for that, right? There's specific reasons for him wanting to have the power that he has. And in this instance, it's just, I want the ultimate power so that I don't have to deal with anything like this happening again. But that's not like a specific motivation. That's just like fear telling you that something could happen. Yeah, I think you need to ground yourself and talk to your friends. He, like immediately knows. He's like, oh, what's that about? Liar, he knows. That's exactly what you were doing. Yeah, exactly. Don't just wander off. Going off to become a god without talking to anybody first. Aw, I love his, I can't chase after you if you don't tell me where and you're just gonna leave. I also think that it's really sweet though that like he goes off and he's, I need to become stronger. He's trying to do something on his own. He's trying to be that like force on his own. And then when he comes back, he already has people who are like worried about him and being like, what happened to you? So if he had gotten that power of a god, he would have left this all behind. He would have, what could have happened? And like, it's like I was saying, a lot of the time his advantage isn't just about him having powers and like skill sets. It's about the people like supporting him through the conflicts that he's been part of that have given him the advantage. Of course, in Dorsey's, this is about me, but also eat something. I love the beef already between the princesses, the chaos. They're probably, I'm with you, Kun. I'm like, they're probably fine because I refuse to believe anything else. Rock is fine. Yep. We gotta just keep going and then deal with the issues of everything else that's going on once we get onto the hell train, but we'll get there. You also just kind of have to trust that your friends are gonna be okay, right? Are we trying to escape? Look, Lady Yuri knows all. Like, they're just gone for a minute. I like that it's aggressive delivery, but I do like the pep talk of you've been separated from people before and your paths have crossed again. Very aggressive, but I like the message, maybe not the medium. Like not that I care, but like people care about you. Shut up. Oh, cool. We're just like not gonna get it's anyway. There was another test they passed. Moving on. With whom though? Who else are we gonna bring in? I don't know. We already had someone introduced as like a looming other person showing up. Yeah, it's the like fishermen that didn't they have look like a rod or something? And like maybe we don't just take in like the next person we meet because I feel like it's a plant. Anyway, we're not getting help, so is Beta just in there? Is he just hanging out? Contained? Oh god, I'm gonna be so nervous when that crossover happens. Gosh, there's definitely a path happening. I'm so nervous that the path is like the floor of death is right there, and I'm just like, I've already had enough of death. I don't want more of it. Thank you. I don't need that kind of. Yeah, I'm with you. Is my impression of like, huh? Come again? I understand it's called the floor of death, so I was already expecting it to be not the most fun time. I don't need the reminder though. Yeah, I have to go back. I made a promise, so I gotta go back for training. It's crazy that they're just like, all right, go have fun with your training with some godlike entity mood to be like, I'm gonna take a nap. I don't like they're walking in different directions. It just feels ominous. I need everybody to be together after the trauma I've gone through. Dude, why so dramatic? You're not weak. It's just like other people make bad decisions, okay? You didn't decide to blow up a bridge. Yes, it definitely would. Being a god means you can't be around like normal people, right? That's putting yourself on a pedestal above others. I don't know, that feels ominous. To be like, if something goes wrong, I'll just take responsibility. And also saying you want to fight more is also... I understand the sentiment of I want to be able to put up more of a fight. I want to be able to protect people and be like more involved with everything that's going on. But like, still, maybe we don't fight. Maybe we choose peace. I hope he's different. Interesting too to have the comparison of Bam wants power so he can stay with people. Jihad wanted power to change people, right? Stand above them. But I think fundamentally being like, oh, I want to change people because that will make things better. As opposed to like Bam, who's I want to stay with the people because that will make things better. It's interesting. Again, like a slight change, but it's, I think, a good distinction to keep in mind of those, like, I'm assuming two entities that are going to have to meet at some point. And yes, that does continue to stress me out. I'm casual, yeah, okay, sure. Are we gonna fight? Okay, so that's how we're gonna train. Trial by fire. Okay. Ooh, let's go! Let's go! New power unlocked. It's just like several weeks later. Gosh, y'all been going through it. Aw, did he give her his jacket? What a cutie pie. Yeah, we have the cold being mentioned again. It's because we're getting closer to the floor of death. Yeah, I would also just be like, a rage and screaming. You're already a hostage. I don't need you teaching anyone about how to be a leader, Rachel. You are, though. Team Sweet and Sour needs you. Yeah. Is it like actually that? Look, families are a little bit of a vague term within the tower, right? To be like someone's like a family doesn't necessarily mean that they're by blood, right? Like even like the princesses, right? They're not necessarily related. So I'm like, are we actually like blood related to Jihad? Is that part of the reason we didn't get like a good, I was assuming we didn't get a good visual because that would give away too much. But is it also because we could see like a relation, right? Because we also haven't seen like Karaka, right? Because he has the whole like robotic thing going on. So I'm like, again, like when we said like blood relations, like are we actually like brethren with Karaka, or is it just like princesses calling each other like sister? These are all questions I don't need an answer to right now. This is just me externalizing what's going on in my head, because how to build like a family tree with any of these characters is like a lot. I don't like you trying to be like in confidence. Rachel lies. Oh, are we talking about Karaka? Should be like a whole thing. Oh god, I don't like that she knows stuff. Don't do it. She's a liar and she likes to betray people. Of course, this has to be some kind of revenge thing against Bomb. Good that we know that if we get that last piece, it could be a hefty blow to everything that's going on with the tower and Jihad. I'm just assuming that Bomb's gonna end up with it. Oh, good. There's just a key for more stuff. Sure. That's fine. The weapons, so is that why we want to collect specific ones? Because we had the other princess who was making the deal with Lady Yuri that was like, I need a specific one of your weapons that's like the months, right? Not just any one of them. So it was the Green April, right? So is that kind of wrapped up with it? If getting all of the weapons would be connected to this key, half of it anyway? Oh, okay. So we need the other ring too? No, you're not. Don't follow her. She's a liar and I dislike her a lot. And you're the person that I'm assuming we got the shadow for. What's with your eyes? I have so many feelings. There's so many things going on. I feel like where the last couple of chapters left me like very emotionally drained, this one, like my brain is just like calculating so many things. Okay, so we need to get the rings. So we have one with Wang and one with Karaka. I'm assuming there aren't more, but there might be. Who knows? Then we have the 13 weapons. So we at least know where 2 of those are, unless we lose one because of this bet thing. Did we find out if she agreed to that? I have no idea. But there's that thing going on. Already going to be a little bit of a tall order to get all of those anyway. Are we actually related to Jihad? Because I know we had like the prince thing. And I'm like, that could mean anything though, because princesses, that's not like by blood. So even if it's not by blood though, it could be like its own like connected thing with prince. And then Karaka, I guess, is also under that in some way. If they're brothers, again, blood relation or otherwise. And then we also have the backstory with training like Jihad when he was first going through the tower with the god of guardians. And there's just so much. I feel like there's so much just like lore drop in this one that's gonna take me some time to process it. But I'm feeling a lot of things. And I'm nervous that we're this close to the floor of death. And I'm nervous about Bomb being like, I would like to become a god, because that hasn't turned out well for anybody. And I'm still emotionally distraught. Oh my god. I'm too invested, though. I gotta know what happens. I can't give up now. But I hope you enjoyed reading that along with me. You can click this playlist to go into my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so you miss the next time that I post a Tower of God reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.